Hey, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Merle in Switzer. Hey, thanks for checking out that link on culture. Culture is so important to our organizations. Our performance, engagement, retention, so many aspects. And so I'm glad you're interested in the topic. I want to take just a moment and talk about an organizational systems framework. This is a way to think about your company and, more importantly, to see how culture fits in. So follow along as I point to my organizational system structure here. So inputs, that's primarily by leadership. If you're a leader, you're responsible for providing inputs into the organization. Those inputs could be directive, could be policy, it could be how you recognize people, etc. That affects what we call our throughputs. That's how work gets done in your organization. It's who we hire, how we onboard them, who we promote, how we train them, the training we provide to our staff, the relationship between supervisors and managers and their respective teams. How that all fits together impacts culture. I get a lot of folks who say, we want to change the culture in our organization. The reality of it is, you're not changing culture until you go back and look at the leadership inputs or how those inputs are brought to life inside your organization. There's two other aspects I want to talk about this. The next is outputs. Outputs are generally quantifiable. It's how many customers we serve, how many widgets we sell, how many presentations we make. Those normally, again, they're quantifiable. It's work that we do that's measurable that ultimately we hope impacts our outcomes. Outcomes could be increase in sales, could be perception of customer service, could be quality of the products or services that deliver. Now, there's one aspect of this is really important. How do we know that our culture is what we want it to be, or that we're doing the right kinds of outputs that will impact the kind of outcomes that we want? So my tip here is, if you're not sure about your organizational culture, an organizational health survey can give you a snapshot of what the culture looks like, how healthy it is. With that information, to what we call a feedback loop, we want to come and feed that back into our inputs and throughputs. If our culture isn't where we want it to be, let's take some time then and reevaluate what are the inputs to our organization and how are those brought to life. For example, in working with teams, I found some of them who say that the feedback, organizational health feedback, is such that there's really some problems. For example, people only hear from supervisors or managers when they make a mistake. And so there's this negative disconnect that occurs. Well, that feeds into input. We as a leadership team need to provide more positive input or feedback to our employees. Well, then how does that get put into action? What steps are we going to make to ensure that we're recognizing good performance, not just when someone makes a mistake? So take a minute to look at today's newsletter. I think you'll find some interesting things in there. But certainly if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Again, thank you so much for checking in. We look forward to coming alongside of you.